All right, so we're gonna do a reaction video to a Transformer. Once again, they're coming for Dave Chappelle. Sit back and enjoy the commentary. Hard Talk Radio.
Comment section on my last few videos now has been, can you please talk about the Dave Chappelle thing? I want to know your opinion on the Dave Chappelle special. Fear not, I was not ignoring you. I was, gathering as much information as possible. It's a long special, I wanted to watch the full thing, really digest it all. But then a few days ago, Dave posted to his Instagram another clip of him doing some quote unquote comedy, some jokes, and he kind of doubled down on what he was saying. So I figured I can't wait any longer. This video needs to be made, and I need to get my thoughts out there. I need to take him down. I need to cancel him. All in a day's work. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the comedian Dave Chappelle actually had a special release on Netflix, and in this special, he makes a lot of jokes about trans people and LGBT people in general, and people are rightfully upset. I watched the special and it's not good. But yeah, I post new videos twice a week here on my channel. So if you guys are not yet subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. Are you done? Thank you very much. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to keep us up to date with me as possible. And yeah, with no further ado, let's get right into this special. That's it. The special. Tour is about 41 minutes. Plus, you're not only saving time, you can save over 30%. Ready to go. Fresh. You can actually go to Hello. I watched it, bitch. Keep it to yourself. I actually also watched the entire Sticks and Stones special as well, which is the special that he mentioned several times throughout the closer special. So I got all the data. I got all the info, okay? That being said, I have not, however, watched any other videos or read any articles about it. Obviously, I know people are very upset. I've seen some tweets and stuff about it, but I haven't.
Even though you're thinking about interplanetary travel, you don't really think about aliens.
No, I mean, if they show up, I'm like,
haven't, looked into it too much because I wanted to form my own opinions. Wanted to be as unbiased as possible. The last disclaimer before we get started is I think there is a conversation that can be had about, which is surprising due to his extensive history of making fun of the LGBT community, or as he calls it literally every single time he refers to us, the BLGTs, or the alphabet people, or the BLTs, or if you also are not familiar with Dave Chappelle, he is a straight man, not gay, not trans, none of the above, which I will say I do think it would make a difference if he was gay or trans. You know what I mean? I feel like gay people can make jokes about gay people, trans people can make jokes about trans people. If somebody is trans themselves, I feel like it's completely up to them to decide how they want to talk about their struggles or, make art out of their experiences. The same thing goes for race or gender. I think if a Black person wants to make jokes about their struggles with, being a Black person, I think that's fine. I think if a woman wants to make a joke about being a woman, that's fine. However, I don't think the opposite is true. I don't think it would be okay for a white person to joke about a Black person's experience. I don't think it would be okay for a man to joke about a woman's experience. And I also don't think it would be okay for a sister.
Okay, if it's that bad, turn off television, because the thing about comedy is that it breaks boundaries and it goes against the grain. That's the thing about comedy. It goes against the grain. That's what comedy is about. This is why you had George Carlin. This is why you had Sam Kinison. This is why you had Chris Rock. This is why you had people that were realized as great comedians, because not only did they make great jokes, but they actually had us thinking about certain things about the world. George Carlin, he had us thinking about how this world works. Okay, society, the government, education system, politics. He was funny as hell. But at the same time, he had you thinking. That's like Dave Chappelle, funny as hell, but made you think. Okay, now you watch the Dave Chappelle closer, made fun of Jews, made fun of blacks, made jokes about grape, and it was funny. But then when it came to the LGBT, you all had a problem with it again because what they were saying was true. That's the thing. And they even have, Flame Monroe. She's trans, and she's with Dave Chappelle, and she makes jokes. Okay, Dave Chappelle had a friend who was Transformer, and she sided with Dave Chappelle. And what did the community do? Cancel her to the point she committed suicide. If you don't like the jokes, turn the channel. Delete. Don't watch the closure. Because it seems like these people want to force, you want to force your views on people. People have a right to laugh and joke what they want to laugh and joke about when it comes to comedy. All right? You don't like it, leave. That's all I could say. Our country's coming extremely communist. Extremely communist. Okay? When was the last time you heard a good joke? When was the last time you heard a good joke? When was the last time? Ever since these elections, you barely heard any good comedy. It was bashing Trump all the time. Terrible comedians. Then you had Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, and some others that are kind of funny. But this is just ridiculous, man. I mean, seriously. You feel this strongly, turn the channel. You have people trying to talk about this, and they don't care. He's not phobic. And the thing is, like, I'll say it again, the transformer community has a lot of issues going on right now, especially with a rape culture in their backyard. But you want to come after Dave Chappelle. That's very interesting to me.
Gender person to joke about a trans person's experience. Dave brags about how he's been making jokes about the trans community for 16 plus years. And although I haven't seen them all, he admits that they used to be a lot more mean, because, that's something to brag about, right? He proudly admitted that he used to use slurs. He actually named the slurs that he used to use in the special, but I mean, okay, whatever, damn. Let's just use our imagination. We don't have to get into the details of the jokes that he used to make. Okay, they were mean. Let's just leave it there. Usually I find infatuations of this size to be a little bit flattering. It's like, cute. You're obsessed with me. I get it. But like, this is a bit much. It's a bit much. You're doing the most. Aren't you supposed to be one of the greatest comedians? There's a fly. You really have to resort to attacking another minority community to boost your numbers? You're really struggling that hard right now? Now, I'll be upfront and say that the special was definitely upsetting to me as a trans person. It hurt my feelings. It got me good. Whether you...
So, look. Walk out. Hurt your feelings. Struggling. Comedians have been doing this for years. Making fun of white folks, making fun of black folks, making fun of Asian folks. What is your deal here? It hurts my feelings. Who gives a damn about your feelings? This is comedy. Leave.
Care if it hurt my feelings is up to you. I really don't care if you care. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're an asshole. I don't care if you don't care.
Wait a minute. So why make this video if you didn't care? Why make this video if you didn't care if Dave Chappelle hurt your feelings? You're not... See, a lot of these people don't understand, not every transformer thinks the same way. They think because it hurts your feelings, they're all together on it. They're not. They're not. But unfortunately, if they ever spoke up, they're going to get canceled and possibly face the same fate as Dave Chappelle, transformer friend. End up killing herself because she dared to think for herself. And that's the problem with this woke culture. You cannot think for yourself. You join up with these people, especially the alphabet mafia, you lose the right to think for yourself. You lose critical thinking. You lose your own individual speech. You say, hey, what are you doing? Come on, it's just comedy. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Or, he was joking about everything else, but then when it came up to you, you got mad. They'll get mad at you and violent.
Regardless of whether or not my feelings were hurt, though, there are a few arcs throughout the special that I feel are potentially dangerous to the progress of the trans community. Again, I know that not everybody cares about the trans community's progress. You got me. You got me good. You don't have to comment about it, okay? It's fine. I get it. You don't care. Actually, wait. I forgot that I'm like a YouTuber. I should be playing into the algorithm. Comments away. Go off. Go ahead. Let me know how you feel. The Netflix special starts out, and while there are some funny moments, I'll give it to him. There are some funny moments. There are also a lot of moments that are problematic and very clearly indicated where he stood on certain issues such as COVID. Like he says that he didn't even get sick from COVID, which is like, okay, are you trying to what are you trying to say? He complains about the increase of attacks on Asian Americans, then compares Black people beating up Asians to his immune system fighting off the COVID virus, playing into the whole myth of COVID being this Asian disease, which is quite literally the reason that hate crimes against Asian Americans.
Hate crimes against Asian Americans is because of ignorant people, period. Ignorant people. That's it. All right? The virus did come from Asia. I'm not dissing Asians. Those are the facts. Okay. What now? What now?
Has gone up. I will say that he also does poke fun at anti-vaxxers and clarifies that he himself is vaccinated. So that's good, I guess, right? We'll give him that. We love making fun of anti-vaxxers. But after that, he doesn't.
Wait a minute. You want to make fun of anti-vaxxers, but when it comes to your group is off limits. Person's a clown.
Much time before getting into the bulk of his content source, the alphabet people, or the BTLGs, or the QRF dabble. I don't even know letters anymore. Eblg? What the fuck is an eblg? But LGBT. Is it really that hard? Just practice it 3 times. I swear you can get it. But I'm sure he knows the acronym. He's purposely messing it up to try to play into this whole LGBT people being confusing and ridiculous and absurd, and they're making us learn all these acronyms. Again, we can learn it together. It's not hard. So like I said, there are a few arcs throughout the special that I think have, transphobic roots, we'll say. The first of which, there's 3, if you're curious. The first of which is the proclamation that the modern day LGBT movement or the modern day LGBT community is too sensitive and too brittle. He takes the time to clarify that, he doesn't have any issue with being gay, which is, thank you so much. Love that. But rather that he just isn't a fan of these newer gays because, like I said, they're too sensitive. They're too brittle. And he then brings up the whole baby situation to try to show how, sensitive and brittle we are and the damage that we cause to, good people's careers. Is a baby a good person?
Yeah, this person is way too entitled. This is what he was saying, man.
I'm familiar with the whole baby situation. I do have a whole video on
these people are really entitled. These are mentally ill, entitled people. They think they have power over, and people are sick of it. All right, everybody's up for taking shots at, but you even said you'll make fun of anti-vaxxers, but when it comes to you, it's a problem. It comes to your group, it's a problem. This is what people are tired of, this woke culture. And then you want to push your views in everything from comics, TV shows, schools. Come on. You're talking about you're feeling offended and stuff. What about other people? You're forcing drag queen story time on people's kids. All right. But it's perfectly okay to just be offended, and then you want to cancel everybody's fun. Everybody's right to free speech. Comedy. Okay? And this is the problem. These people have too much power. You want to cancel a comedy show, but you don't want to talk about the rape culture in your community. You don't want to talk about the drag queen story time that's just, sex offenders being around kids. You guys got your own problems to worry about, and you want to come after Dave Chappelle. So much problems this community has, but want to come after Dave Chappelle.
On it, you're You're welcome. But to sum it up really quickly for you guys, basically he said that people with HIV are dirty. He praised people for not being gay. It was a whole mess, and then afterwards he actually refused to apologize and doubled down on his homophobia, saying that if gay people want us to accept them for being gay, then they have to accept me for being homophobic. Sir, that's not how that works. Shortly after, a bunch of his shows were canceled because what music festival is going to want a performer that bashes a large portion of their customer base? I don't know, when do you? Every time I do something like that, I feel like Dora. Like, what do you think? Is the baby a dumb bitch? I can't. My favorite part of Dave calling us too sensitive, though, was when he said that we were being too sensitive and he misses the Stonewall gaze. You know what the Stonewall people did? They started violent riots demanding respect and demanding equal rights. But calling out how what DaBaby did is problematic on Twitter is too far? Okay, Dave. The aims of the majority of the LGBT community is not to cancel everybody that doesn't agree with us or to...
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's to cancel. It's to even to a point to barge into Netflix meetings, okay? And just show up at a meeting that you're not invited to. That's what an employee did, okay? And they got their job back because they could do that. You know why? People do these things. You know why? Because they know there's no consequences for it. This is the alphabet mafia. This is what they do. Because they know there's no boundaries. Hey, they could even go into a female space at a spa in California. That's what happened. And did the alphabet transformer community check that individual who did that? No. They shamed the victim. Just like the transformers shamed the lesbians, the thespians for not wanting to be with a transformer. Do they check the transformer? Well, there are transformers that do check them. Very few, but even they get, hate culture, let's put it that way, cancel culture, hate culture coming for them because they're not supposed to do that. They have to stay on code. It's exactly what it is. Canceling people who don't agree with you. Or when they break the law, they do it without a care in the world because they know they got their gang with them.
Get everybody that doesn't agree with us fired and ruin everybody's lives. I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there that would like that. Rightfully so. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. People being fired due to outrage over their homophobic or transphobic comments, that's a result of their personal or their public agendas not lining up with what their employer wants the brand to represent, which, by the way, is well within their right. If you continuously say some fucked up shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then refuse to apologize and make it right, which, therefore makes the brand look bad, why would they want to keep you? Why would they damage their own reputation to protect you? Free speech and self-expression? That's cute. Now, the comments that Dave made, honestly, some of them were supportive of things that would benefit trans people. He talks about the North Carolina bathroom bills and how they were messed up and how they are ridiculous and, should never be a thing. But the way that he goes about it, and I know it's comedy, it's supposed to just be funny. Excuse me for, being a little bitch or whatever, but it's shit's hurtful. And that's where this second arc comes in. And it's not about how we're too sensitive for Dave's liking. This one goes directly for trans people's bodies. He makes joke after joke after joke about trans women's bodies, about our intimate, personal, private body parts. And the entire time the audience is roaring with laughter. So even if he's saying that he supports trans people and he's saying that he supports these laws that protect trans people, he has millions and millions of people laughing at our bodies. Our bodies are frequently the reason that we're bullied, that we're demonized and ridiculed, that we're assaulted, and that we're murdered. He doesn't even stop at...
Okay, let's talk about that. The reason why some of you all are murdered is because some of you transformers are not honest with the men that you're trying to get. That's the issue. A lot of you, I remember hearing on a live stream, and this person was a lawyer, and she was talking about her friend who was a transformer. And this person would like to go and try to talk to straight men, not telling them who the transformer really is, but just wanted to try to talk to straight men and try to get with them, not telling them who they are. That is the reason why a lot of you get murdered. See, this is the problem. No one really respects these people because they like to lie. It's the truth. You like to lie a lot about who you are. And then when the truth comes out and you end up dead, now you're a victim. You're not a victim because you knew you were supposed to tell that person who you are. Let's get that straight. A lot of you all ending up dead because you don't tell people about your bodies so that it doesn't happen.
Laughing at, pre-op or non-op trans women's genitalia. He also makes fun of trans women's strong jawlines, big noses. He mocks trans women's voices. He dead names and misgenders Caitlyn Jenner. Claims that she's not a real woman, but as well as quite explicitly saying that trans women's vaginas aren't real. Like, dude.
They're not. Sorry, they're not. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? It's the truth. It's not. It's not. See, the reason why the alphabet mafia is so mad because what Dave is saying is the truth, but in a jokey type of way of saying it, and you're mad. Okay, that's it. You're mad. That's it. That's all it is. He's exposing the truth about this group. They're mad. They can't shut him up because everything he said is the truth. People could do a whole lot more research into this group, and you'll find a whole lot more that will probably upset you to no end.
Fuck off. What trans woman rejected you and hurt you so bad that she made you feel like you had to dedicate your entire career to bullying us and making our lives harder?
You made your life harder by yourselves, and he's straight. And you're not a female. That don't work. You're not a female. That doesn't work. Oh, man. Hilarious.
Like, it's time to move on. Now, the third and thankfully final arc of Dave's transphobic comedy is, unfortunately, the worst one. I think that these are the parts that most people have heard of, besides the impossible pussy or the beyond pussy jokes. In this arc, he basically says that trans women are not real women. Not in his words, of course, but he does make it very obvious that that is his opinion. And now when I say that trans women are women, I do not mean that trans women are the same as cisgender women. I do not mean to say that they have the same experiences or the same struggles, anything like that. But I am saying that we are both women. Okay? Moving on.
Whoo! Wow. Yeah. It's crack. It's crack what this person is smoking. It is definitely high, potent crack this person is smoking. Yes. It's crack for 500, Alex. It's crack. Listen. You got the right to do whatever you want. Okay? But truth is the truth. A transformer. Decepticon. More than meets the eye. Okay? And people have a right to choose not to be around you, not to date you, period. That's the right. People have a freedom of choice. And the fact that you say things like this is the reason why Transformers get deleted. Look like smoke crack. Oh, the size of that nose.
Now, to start, he implies that Caitlyn Jenner isn't a woman. He says that her winning Woman of the Year would be the same as Eminem winning N-Word of the Year. Which, let me break it down. Caitlyn Jenner being a woman is the same as Eminem being black. Oh my god. Is Eminem transracial? Now, like I said, these comments do require a little bit of brain power to really understand what he's trying to insinuate. And I feel like they're also given a little bit of lenience due to the fact that they're in a comedy special. And for those reasons, people don't really view it as transphobic. But now, I disagree. I would actually argue that these subtle digs at trans people are actually more damaging than those explicit, overt attacks on trans people. Those comments tend to be a lot more shocking.
Man, I'm gonna end it right here. I mean, the nonsense coming out of this person's mouth is ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. I mean, no, 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 no. Okay, this is just another Transformer Nazi trying to kill comedy because your feelings are hurt. That's it. Feelings are hurt. And you want everybody to cancel Dave Chappelle. Doesn't work that way. Okay? You can leave. You can do so many other things. And not even, all Transformers agree with you. There are many that find his show funny. And many are not part of this woke cult. Tell me what you think in the comments about this. You think she's right? You think she's wrong? Let me know in the comments. She sure as hell is wrong with me. Later. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.